Okay, so now one thing is to know these formulas, the calculations on how to get the crotch, the armhole, and the neckline, which I have shown you in my last previous 3 uploads. So if you are yet to see that video, endeavor to watch these 3 videos because it will serve as a foundation to anything I am going to teach further on this channel. So now, one thing is to know these formulas. Next step is how do we apply them? Because in teaching, you don't assume that your students or your viewers might understand how to do everything. So that's the reason I am trying to make this particular video to show you guys how to apply these formulas. So I have written out some measurements on my book, and which I will be reading out for you guys. Now, we are going to use a certain measurement to illustrate to you how to draft a basic bodice. Now, these basic bodice will serve as the foundation to every other thing that we are going to draft. So if you have not watched the 3 videos, endeavor to watch them. I will try as well to put the links in the description box of this particular video. So the chest we are going to work with will be a chest of 48, shoulder of 19, sleeve length of 16, round sleeve of 16 and 15. Now, I want to let you know that when you are making a 3/4 sleeve, you are going to have 2 values in your round sleeve, which I explained in the measurement video I did some time ago. So do well to check out how to take an appropriate male measurement on my channel. Now, the neckline we have here is a neckline of 17.5, and then top length is 37. So these are the measurements we are going to be working with. And before we proceed or start working with this measurement, I normally advise people, once you are new to this field, kindly take your time to work out the whole calculations you might be needing in your drafting. As you can see, chest over 4 gives me 48/4, which is 12. Now, because of the fact that we are working on 3/4 sleeve, so I have to minus 1 inch from the chest answer measurement, which is 12 minus 1 is 11. Right, look at it, 11. So I have noted my armhole to be 11. Now, the shoulder is also divided by 2, which is 19/2, which is 9.5. Then round sleeve is by 2, neckline is by 6, which I have worked out. Neckline I have here is 17.5. Divided by 6, we are going to have 2.91. Then we are going to deduct or minus 0.3 from that, which we are going to have 2.61. So approximately 2.6. So the reason I took my time to put out this for us to understand on how to draft or the processes you undergo in drafting a basic bodice. So without further ado, let's get down to the drafting proper. All right, guys. So now we want to start the basic bodice. Now, the first thing you will do is to iron your fabric, to remove any rumples on your fabric. So now, what is my guide on this folding I just made or did? I will explain to you, but I want to take it one step at a time so that you won't be confused. Please bear with me. This will be a very long video, but I bet you will enjoy the whole processes, the seconds, the minutes in this video. You will enjoy it to the very end. So the first thing that you normally do, or you will do, is to iron out this outfit, this fabric. Make sure you don't cut your fabric when it is rumpled. It will cause error in measurement. So once your ironing has been achieved, now the next you will do here is to mark out your baseline.
Your baseline is a fresh start, a fresh line, which indicates where you are starting your whole markings from, right? So once your baseline has been properly marked out just like this, now the next you will do is to mark 4 inches here. Now these 4 inches you are marking is for the hemming or folding of the top, which is not part of the top length, right? So you mark 4 inches here, then you draw the line as shown. Then after you have done this, the next you will do is to put your top length, and which the top length we had is 37, which we got on my customer's measurement, 37 inches top length. So you mark 37 all through this way. Mark it twice. It's advisable that you mark it twice, 37 inches top length, just like this, and then you connect the line all through to this very point. Now the next you're going to work on is on the armhole. So the armhole value we had was gotten from the chest over 4. With the chest is 48. Divide by 4, that's 12. You now consider, are you making short sleeve or 3/4 or long sleeve? The measurement of the sleeve length we had there is 3/4, 16. That means we are making a 3/4 sleeve. That means you minus 1 inch from the chest over 4 to get the value of your armhole for 3/4 sleeve, which is now 11, right? So you mark 11 inches right there. Mark it twice, 11 inches right there, 11. And then you connect your line as well as shown this way. After this, the next you are going to do now is to impute or mark your real chest measurement, which is 48 by 4, which is 12. This point does not need any deduction. Rather, you will add extra 2 inches to that. The minimum you can add here is 1.5. That is when you know that you are certain and sure of your customer's chest size. So chest over 4, you mark the value and then add extra 1.5 minimum or maximum 2 inches. You make the mark as shown. Then after that, the next you are going to do is your shoulder. The shoulder we have is 19. Divided by 2 gave me 9.5. Now don't forget that you are going to add extra half an inch, which you are going to use to join the sleeves of this outfit on it. So that's 10 right there. Then you mark 10 inches. But before you mark the 10, you make sure that you are going to tilt or bend use your tape to come down by 2.5 inches mark this way. So you just bend it in this form, then make a mark in a slanted form like this. Please watch how the tape is bent. It's slanted down by 2.5. How did I know here is 2.5? I just guessed it down to mark to give a mark here, and after which I will now come at that point and trace the actual 2.5, which serves for my shoulder slope, right? So you are going to get this mark that shows the shoulder and this mark here that shows the shoulder slope. So this cross-line mark is very important and very essential. So here, the next you are going to deal on is on the neck. And the neck measurement we have is neck of 17 and a half. So when you work it out from the formula I gave you, you are going to have 2.6 at the end of the day. So 2.6 is 1 digit after 2.5 is your 2.6, right? 1 digit after 2.5 is your 2.6. So you make the mark on that point. Don't forget, I have already deducted 0.3 from the neck division. Then add half an inch to this 2.6. That is 3.1, right? 3.1. So you mark all through this way. Now you are going to make a straight line which will cut across this way and also cut across this way as well. So once you have this angle 90, then with the help of your armhole curve or pattern master, and also bear in mind that these tools are essential if you want to achieve a perfect cutting or drafting. This is called armhole curve, right? Armhole curve. So you place it in a way that it's resting on the neck depth and on neck edge. And then with the help of the curve at the back, you make a curvy connection that goes all through this way. So this is also a point where you get your perfect neckline. And then you're going to join the neck slope and the neck shoulder measurement rather this way. You join the shoulder slope and the shoulder measurement this way to the neck edge, right? Now, convention will tell you that the chest measurement has upper chest and lower chest. What do they mean? They mean that if here is 40, for example, that here should be 38. So invariably, what I will show you now is how I do my own, and it gives you a perfect fit or fitting. So here, you are meant to draw this line down straight to the armhole line, but then I tilt my tape, my ruler to go in by half an inch. Then I go all through this way. So the line does not really go straight, it's half inch bent inside. Now, this line that came down here is my shoulder line. Then for me to connect my armhole line, you must make sure you take your armhole curve, place it on the shoulder point, and it will cut across this line that went down by half an inch, and then it ends on the chest value. So from here, it goes all through this way to this very point. This is what I'm trying to explain. So here you have a curve that connects across half an inch in and then goes out to this very point. And after this now, the next you will do is to bring down the line on the chest allowance straight up to the base of the outfit this way. And then from the 4 inches fold you have marked already, then you come up by 7 inches or 8 inches depending on how lengthy you want the slit to be, and then you come out here by 1 inch, to help you know where you are going to do your slit opening from. So you go all out that way. So this is how you draft the front panel of your outfit. So I will cut out this, and then I will now show you guys how to also mark the back, and you are going to see everything that you have been craving for to learn in this tutorial.
I grab my sketch and make the line. Patterns flow like vintage wine. Dress in colors bold, refined. With fashioned art I'm intertwined.
All right, so here we want to cut the back panel. Now, the reason I am showing you all of these procedures is solely for you to understand and see how these things are done, and then to also encourage you to always adhere to the due processes of drafting, because if you have mastered the formula but you are yet to know how to apply them, it's as good as nothing, right? So here you also make sure you iron out the fabric in this form. Iron out the fabric all through in this form, and after which the next you will do now will be to place the back panel, the front panel in this form, just this way, and then the way I cut, I make my base to be 1 inch longer. The back panel base for me, I make it to be 1 inch longer, right? So that I use it in the neck balancing of the top. So having said that, now the next you will do here is to raise the back panel by 2.5 from the neck edge, 2.5 inches this way,
and here as well 2.5 inches as well this way. After you have done that, then connect the lines from here to this point. And then some persons ask me, how can they know the back neckline depth and width, which is one of the reasons I am making this illustration today. So now the simplest way you can get your back neckline is to make sure that the back neck width does not follow the exact width of your front panel. The back neckline is meant to be 3/4 inch wider, or at least ½ inch wider than the front neck width. The depth of the back neckline remains 1.5 inches. Let me show you what I mean. So now, if you don't know how to mark your line here without marking the front to be a guide, this is what you will do. You place your tape, your ruler with the front neckline edge to go straight line to the back panel, and then from that back panel, mark 3/4 inch inwards. That's 0.75 inch inwards inside, and then bring it back again to the tip here. So that is what I just meant. So it goes all through this way, right? 3/4 inch inwards, and the depth of this neck will remain 1.5 inches. 1.5. Now, some persons are still confused on how to make the curve. Now, from my own findings, any value you use in marking the neck width at this area or at this point is the value you mark here will be double of what you mark here. So since we marked 1.5 here this way, so here you mark 3 inches this way. Here you mark 3 inches this way. Please watch attentively. From here you mark 3 inches this way, and then take your armhole curve as well, place in this form where it touches the 3 inches and then goes all through to the 1.5, so it comes in this nature. You see that? This is how the back neckline comes, and then you cut. So this is the simplest explanation you will see on the back neckline, and it gives you an exact of whatever be the reason or be your query. We've cut all through this way. We've cut all through this way, and then cut all through this way. Now, there's something I want to show you guys before we proceed, but let me just finish cutting this so that it will also be clear to us. Now, fine, I am done cutting this. Now, before you say you are done cutting, you are meant to fold the back panel to come in front. So this folding will be 2 inches this way on top, 2 inches thereabout on top of the front. You measure. This is 2 1/4, right? Fine. So now, if you observe, the armhole line is corresponding with this. There's no excesses here. You leave it. But on the front panel, the neckline is encroaching this way at the back. So you trim using the front panel as the bearing. Trim this one to go to still meet back the back panel this way. See what I removed? Just this little thing can cause an obstruction in your whole sewing. So the thing here is the front. So whatever you have the measurements on the front panel, like whatever measurement you have from here to this very point, you get, must be equal with what you will have at the back, right? Whatever you have here for the front panel must be equal with what you have at the back, so that when you join, this laps very firmly in this form. There should be no excesses both on the armhole line, the neckline, and the armhole line. Alright, so I do hope this video must have explained to you how to go about the whole drafting stage. See you on the next one. Bye bye for now.